take ridiculous shots regardless. If Semper can start bumping FaZe off plays, if they can get those big demos, and if they can force FaZe to have to overcommit themselves and work overtime for those extra reads for the second and third touch, you're going to have an easier time than most teams will. But that really comes down to your ability to lock down this FaZe Clan roster, which is very difficult to do.
100% as out of the gate. Pretty neutral as expected, but I expect a couple touches and early challenges from Semper. As you're seeing already in the corner, follow up from both Exotic and Cassio. As this one comes down in the midfield, Shazette turned a little bit awkward, but still able to recover in time and keeps it in this half. And that's going to be the big focus for me is, can you find a way to keep FaZe in their own half? Is it going to be these challenges met in the midfield to really shut them down? And a good way of doing it is a good catch and a potential shot, but cut across and support shown for FaZe Clan. As it's a drop down and a cutoff. That's a wide open net. What a great turn by Semper.
Yeah, that's a good read all the way through. And again, FaZe are starting to mount that 3 pressured attack. You can see everybody pushing up. First killer all the way upfield. AJ as well. Sypical is right there looking for the pass, but the cut down by Semper, and that's what they're going to have to do, right? Like when FaZe are putting that 3-headed approach on, when they're getting everybody up in circulation, you're going to have to be able to jump that read and intercept the ball. So far, so good for Semper, and they get a goal because of it.
Good challenge again by Exotic in the corner. As FaZe trying to slow it down a little bit. Again, garnering that respect from Semper.
Yeah.
It's a good touch up high. It's going to force someone off the backboard. And it is a solid clear, but completely kills in the midfield. It's going to be Shazette taking a dribble and gets a demo. Just going to back out, let his teammate come through. And it's a good shot through as well. Again, good communication here from Semper.
Well, look at that. The demo opens up the back corner. You flip out, you get the boost, and Exotic's already there to meet the pass. Nicely played all the way around. So you get physicality, you get boost management, and I mean, FaZe couldn't really do much off spawn. What are you really going to do? That's good communication and correction throughout, and we wanted to see the physicality from Semper. It works out so far, and they have a 2-goal lead. Now the question is, can they hold on to it? Because you know the FaZe is coming.
Yeah, we've seen this numerous times where FaZe, you know, they don't start as fast, but once they get into that groove, it's been very difficult. But again, I think it might be a little bit more difficult than that. Semper obviously challenging a lot of things really well, and they're showing that physicality that we wanted. A lot of demos and a lot of follow-up that they've been going for.
Yeah.
And it's been unique approaches. It's not just straightforward every single time, but the one thing that you're going to see pretty consistently is they got to find a way to get FaZe out of position. And you can do that with the disruption, the bumps and demos, but a lot of these touch-ups, just big clears up high. Even when they're in their own half, it's just lofted towards the top of the net because it does force someone in an awkward spot out of position, and they can't really control it. They just have to react to it and play a big clear downfield. So Semper did a really good job of facilitating the field and just overall controlling the pace of this game.
That's maybe the first shot really we've seen from FaZe in the final, I should say the last minute or so. They get a second. But there hasn't been a lot of offense for FaZe. They have been struggling to hold on to possession and dealing with the pressure that has been continuing. As Semper still rolling in front of the net. That one's dangerous. Follow-up will be there from Cassio. 3-0. Too much to handle. FaZe Clan don't have an answer right now, and they don't even have possession of the ball.
You talk about rolling in front of the net. I think that's exactly what Exotic did with those flip resets. He just kept barrel rolling down, and he kept managing to hit the bottom of his card to get that reset. So, again, that +1 mentality, a couple extra touches, and then not afraid as the third person. I think that's where I want to give credit to Cassio is, even though this one a tough save, it is saved either way. Cassio comes flying through, and there's no hesitation with him as that third man in rotation primarily. Extreme confidence to set it up. An awkward touch and 2 commits. So could be a chance for FaZe if they can find their footing. As it's played downfield, a good counterattack chance. It's a shot on target. Again, Cassio in the back of the net with a good save. Exotic there for the follow-up to clear it away. Just under 2 minutes here, Spaceman, and Semper looking clean.
Oof, a little dangerous. Good pinch to be able to get it out. AJ playing it off the ceiling. His best chance FaZe have had so far. 2 will come in on the touch. Everyone gets a look before finally it's killed off. And for FaZe, I mean, you got Sypical so far pushed up. You got AJ circling at the midfield line. First killer flying into the corner. I mean, they have numbers around. They have positioning here. It comes down to the constant powerful clears from Semper that FaZe have not been able to reel in. They're not keeping the ball on the ground. They're trying to go for these aerials, but Semper are denying that. First killer going to keep it down. Can he maintain it? No. Exotic will take it out.
Again, it's been good challenges, and then paired with that alleviating pressure, like you mentioned, it's just they're making FaZe play their game, which is really important. When FaZe gets into a groove again, we see what they can do when they hit all these touches. But as of right now, it's been, for the most part, is a good pass play finally opens up for FaZe. It's primarily been SMPR playing keep away.
Simpical parked the bus real quick.
Yeah, he turned back on that one. So good.
Yeah, right there. I mean, that he was sitting still like for 5 seconds as that play developed, because he knew what was coming. If they just get a center, all of a sudden FaZe have a shot, and the opportunity eventually shows itself. But I think to hit on your point, yeah, like SMPR have been playing their game in the aerials, and they've been cutting down a lot of touches that usually scream along the sidewall, or they kind of skirt along the ceiling. As that one goes in, okay. So it's not only been just domination in an altitude, but it's also been just quick reads on the ground that have kept FaZe at bay. And Cassio with another jump that gets in front of this ball and makes it a 4-1 game.
Yeah, and as soon as FaZe gets a response, so does SMPR. Trying to neutralize everything they have, especially going into these 2s and 1s matches. Curious if FaZe are going to rely on the 1s of First Killer or otherwise. But again, with Exotic, a little bit of confidence, I think, for SMPR. So, good 50 as Exotic comes flying through. That one drops down an awkward spot. Luckily, nobody for SMPR in a spot to attack. Into the midfield, Exotic first touch, followed up by Shawzet, slowing it down and just trying to force a 50. Not sure if he wanted to go for a flick there or otherwise, but either way, killing time off the clock. 10 seconds remaining. It's a good pinch into the SMPR half, cut off by First Killer. And another pre-jump. And with the final seconds ticking away, no way you can come back from 3, and it is SMPR who come out of the gate swinging and looking pretty dang good doing it.
Yeah, they kept FaZe looking like a vanilla off.
No matter what, FaZe decides to pick. So they do go to 2s. It's going to be Exotic and Shawzet against First Killer, and they decide to field Simpical instead of AJ.
Well, this will at least give them some backline. Not that AJ doesn't at all, as Shawzet just slowly flips it over. But for FaZe, I think that having First Killer again in 2s as the only really primary option here will help slow the game down, which is something FaZe desperately need. Simpical could certainly help with a lot of recoveries and rebounds on defensive possessions, but early on, Shawzet getting himself involved, and usually it was Exotic in the 2s and the 1s who was leading the charge. And if we get Shawzet going and Exotic is just there to help out, ooh, that's a dangerous SMPR you got in front of you.
Again, it's been a while since we've seen it, but again, Shawzet fully capable of doing some very impressive things. I mean, I remember the days where he was playing with like Reciprocity and PSG and like 1v3ing energy almost in some of these tournaments, like the DreamHack runs and BTS. A lot of talent. You know, I've always known him for a positional player and always in the right place and always making the good saves and stuff, but we have seen him do the pop-off before as well. So a lot of us really excited when he got brought over to SMPR a while back from that Reciprocity team and all the changes that they made. But you know, it was sad to see him and Farah no longer, but luckily Farah has joined us back in the scene as the coach for Vitality. So all's well that ends well, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes it's cyclical. You get your chances, and then you're not sure what the next step's going to be. All of a sudden, it comes right back around, just like this one did. First Killer, great redirect. As Shawzet came off spawn, and the Exotic had to cover so much net with so little time and so little boost. I think that's a big turnaround of events for FaZe, because it's not so reliant on the aerials. It's more just, you know, keeping somebody on the ground and trusting your instincts, as Shawzet picks the pocket of FaZe on the kickoff and gets himself another one.
Yeah, just a great 50 and a good cheat up. A quick cut, and knowing that because of the slow play, has to make it quick, and that's a perfect flick. So again, neutralizing FaZe, just like they did in the last game. This time in 2s. This one's going to go over to the side. Plenty of boost to work with. He's also got Exotic to his left, but he's probably going to take this one solo. Turns it into a flip reset, and Exotic's there. Shot high, has a double, and he's going to put it right away. So easy for SMPR, it looks.
I mean, it basically is. It's just a simple double tap. Just played it off the backboard. Now, granted, FaZe had slid to the left and fallen out of the goal line, but it feels just really easy right now for SMPR. Like they're keeping the game very, very easy. For FaZe, they've looked fine. They've looked okay. It just, there's something missing. There's like a spark. There's like a creativity or just kind of a will that's missing right now from this roster.
Yeah, I think a lot of that credit does go to Semper.
100%.
Obviously, FaZe
100%.
has a ton of opportunities with their aggression and all their fancy mechanics and stuff. But fundamentally, it kind of reminds me of what Dignitas was doing so well when we got to watch them yesterday. Where yes, the mechanics are there and you're using it to extend plays and do some cool stuff. But primarily, it's positioning, it's good passes, it's an understanding of when and when not to challenge and those types of things. So I think the fundamentals right now for Semper have just been really pristine, and they're capitalizing on everything that they can. And to think that they still haven't really worked in the disruptive plays so far, there's been a couple here and there, but it hasn't really been that big of a focus. It just shows that, hey, there's some extra left in the tank.
They're going to need basically all of it right now because they got, you'd think a lot of time, but really, about 2 minutes to play, it goes by quickly. All it takes is 2 or 3 swings from both teams, and all of a sudden you're looking at a minute left. And here's a chance now for FaZe. First kill, they're going to play it low off the back wall. Quickly dished out the shot set on the one-on-one. He's going to flip it quickly high. Dealt with, will grab the quarter boost, so limited opportunities here for FaZe to clear this away. Baits one. Nice check by First Killer, gets it over, and Shawset will punch it back out.
Yeah, really good play, but the follow-up needs to be there almost immediately. Again, a double fake, and then
okay, we're good. We're good. Okay.
Beautiful pass.
Beautiful back pass. Wonderful.
We need to be careful with this one, and it's a good challenge back. First Killer able to get there in time. Actually ends up getting a flip reset, but it doesn't matter. That one's going to roll back in the middle very aggressively. So right below the ceiling should be an easy 50 for Exotic as he pops it high. And the follow-up there, second touch. No, he's going to roll out of it. Hopefully it's a good read from First. As he's probably going to turn and challenge this one. Facing backwards should make it relatively easy.
Good challenge.
And it pinches back downfield. So another minute kill by Semper.
Yep.
It goes to show for it, but still, time management's there. And finally, placement. It looked like it was going to get saved, but the follow from Sipical cuts it within one.
That's great setups all the way through. And staying on the play as well. Granted, you're going to give FaZe that nod every time. They're going to continue to finish these plays, but of all the times to get a second goal and a big opportunity in this game too, it is here. 1-0 lead for Semper, but FaZe Clan knocking on the door of potential tied series. First Killer will take it off the kickoff from the side wall with a lot of boost. And Typical going to wait. I like that. Play patiently. No reason to overcommit here. Gives time for First Killer to rotate back. And now you basically have an open net. If First Killer get up to the ball, he just could not get there in time. And Exotic will take it back.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Obviously, you're trying to get the beat up top. So with that power, it ends up pushing it out of reach, but still trying to follow through and at least keep it close so you can maybe get a touch on it. Soft cut and a good fake. Gonna leave it to Exotic. I don't know. He didn't get the boost back there, so a dangerous one, and no follow-up. Immediately push back the First Killer, and off the ceiling has the reset. Gonna use it, a double touch, and again, First Killer out of nowhere. Ties it up. We're 3-3 with 33 seconds left.
You know, it always feels like it's out of nowhere, but he's telling you right what he's going to do from the side wall. It's scripted. Here comes a double tap, and whether he uses the upper 90 to squeeze this ball around the far right post, he's done it before, and you're going to expect that angle to be on target. It consistently is, and FaZe Clan, or I should say First Killer, will have themselves a lead. Can they find one more? Great kickoff win. Does Typical challenge up on this play? No. He will fall back, and again, keeping that baseline there. So the back line is now clear for FaZe. Though Exotic does get possession, it does feel like they're trying to stretch more laterally now and pull FaZe away from the net, but it has not worked. Maybe things will change in the final 10 seconds.
Two on the backboard and a potential chance. This could be dangerous as Shawzet with minimal boost. Now caught him back. Luckily, Exotic able to get there. And it's going to touch. So overtime and a big one here as Semper a chance to put themselves at match point while FaZe Clan trying to neutralize.
Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Shot set. Oh, can't get the dunk. Great save. I believe that was Typical who made that stop. And now with no boost, it's going to be a 1-on-2 into the box of FaZe, and FaZe should be able to handle this. First Killer actually plays it down on the pinch, and instead will give it right back. So Exotic taking it high, but First Killer reads it nicely. Grabs the corner boost. This should be a clear for FaZe, and if they can get this out, this buys them time to breathe a little bit. Great shot. Better save.
Yeah, it was a really good play, and now they're taking turns. As cleared downfield. It's going to be a soft touch. Can he get the fake? Is he going to go above? And it's a shot on target. First 30 seconds of this overtime was actually all Semper. couple good challenges and taking their time on how to spread this defense thin, but FaZe Clan, good adjustments, able to get boosted up and go back the other way. So now Shawzette needs to look out for the demo. This is where FaZe looks most dangerous, but again, throwing the possession downfield. There's been a couple times where we've seen it from SMPR where it looks like they have a chance to bring it downfield, but again, the respect's given to FaZe. No boost here.
Yeah,
gonna have to be a good challenge and stay behind it, because again, this can be turned very quickly if they're not careful.
These clears are dangerous. This FaZe has all the room in the world, and first color was looking for the double tap. Here comes Civical, right over one, blocked. Shawzette putting a hand up. It's these soft clears that are so dangerous like this, where Civical could just rotate in, or first color has boost. You know he's probably going to challenge. Still around. Now swinging back out. It's first color swinging heavily into the play. Shawzette going to dump it out to midfield and follow on the ball. Circles back in. Challenge, 50, first killer, Civical, demo, open net, and that's going to be
so
FaZe
smart.
stealing game number 2.
So much trust in the player back. Again, Shawzette turns on this. He's like, yep, I've got the perfect 50. My teammate behind me will support. But the decision to go, willing to take the risk and get a goal for it. So we now go back to threes. One of this puts themselves on match point. But last time, it was all SMPR.
This might be the FaZe we had expected. Civical lands that one. This could be an interesting game of threes, but yeah, just the way that SMPR's been playing, they felt very confident in their opening approach. I'd expect them to go back to that similar state. There's a demo to open things up. We didn't see a lot of demos other than phases in that twos game. It was really SMPR just kind of taking challenge by challenge, but not really going for those big bumps. I wonder if that will help them in this game. I'm sure it would, but as of now, the ball will escape its way towards the blue side of the field. AJ getting a bump. Ricochets around. Both teams kind of vying for possession as of now, as Cassio gets it back to midfield.
Yeah, those 2 times in that side where Shawzette on the rotation back missed boost pads, both in the corner and then in the midfield as well, and kind of slowed it down. So at that point, usually when you're on defense, you're kind of waiting for your teammate to bail you out with that boost, and Shawzette didn't have any, either did Exotic. So the fact that they're able to break out, really important. As tries to make a chip back inside, and Civical just following him like a hawk.
Good pinch. Oh my,
Wait,
that's
what?
a mistake from AJ.
What?
Okay, all right, this pinch goes in and AJ just, he just missed it completely. He flies back and boop.
Oh no, the lip.
Hits the corner. Oh, AJ, it's okay, buddy. It happens to the best of us.
Luckily, in the first minute, still plenty of time to go, as it's going to be a fake kickoff, and it goes back to the corner. The reset from Shawzette does pop it high, and not able to deny the boost in the corner, but gets the demo instead, which I'm sure he'll be happy for his efforts. As it is SMPR up on offense until this big clear comes out from FaZe, drops down in the midfield, and thrown right back in their face.
If you're FaZe, you just shake that off. Like, yeah, it stinks right now, but like, you go next, very next play. You have to be able to get back to midfield. That's a dangerous clear. You have a lot of boost for Cassio, who's flying into the play here, where he's going to win these 50s with this much pressure and power. Exotic playing it nicely through the corner, still hanging precariously in front of the net. As Civical looks for the clear, but it won't be there. We're holding hands. What's going on here? No clear for FaZe, and Exotic will try to meet this one. SMPR have all the possessions in the world and all the opportunities now trying to create a shot.
Good pre-jump by first. Not being able to get to it first, might as well cover the high ground. Ends up pinching and making it a little bit difficult. Does allow FaZe to actually stay with possession. And as Exotic going to fall on this one, and bumper to bumper. Deciding to roll out, probably a smart play. Although being able to shut down first killer, maybe you keep that one.
That's probably like page 1 of every script for any team that plays FaZe. It's just shut down first killer. And then page 2 is like the works cited. And then page 3 is just like a photo of your team crying. And then everything else is just, again, you put it together, man, because it's going to be really hard. Howard, to the credit of SMPR so far in this threes and the prior game 1, they've done a pretty good job of it. Game 2 is a completely different story, but they have denied first killer a lot of open looks and transitions down the field. He goes hunting for a bump, won't find anything. As Shawzette will try to escape with this ball. It's now an absolute traffic jam on the right side of the field. And that's a great shot from Civical. It sneaks over.
A lot of power and good placement. Also ties up the game, but it sounded like he made a connection with it. Audio-wise, it felt like it did, but just barely off the mark. Casio not able to get a nose on it. And 3 minutes elapsed. Tied up. Seems to be how the series is going, man. Back and forth we go.
Oh, there goes first killer. Great challenge on the back wall to immediately eject FaZe. What is happening? Okay, we're back down to the ground. First killer getting bumped. He's getting bullied.
Someone's using a power.
I'm having a stroke. It's okay. Everything's fine. Everybody breathe. FaZe still are somehow getting possession of this ball. It's been very scrappy at the midfield. It hasn't been a lot of clean holds for Semper. And that scares me, just kind of by the way they've been playing threes. As Chaussette will look for the extension, but nowhere close. First killer again pokes it free. Minute 6 to go. That's a great touch out to midfield. The redirect will be there. It might float in if no one touches it, but finally Casio does fly in for the save. Counterattack begins.
Yeah, really good second touch there as well on the left wall from Chaussette. Looked like someone from FaZe was going to be able to scoop in and cut it out, but that second touch extends the play just for at least a little bit. So all the players back in rotation, plenty of boost to work with. As Casio going to play this one up high, cut off again by AJ. Dodging the demo, needs to be careful again. It's a good flick, and again, when you have someone on the field that can get past 2 defenders, so important. As final 25 seconds, we're tied up. FaZe so far has been the offensive threat in the last minute or so, but Semper's defense looking pretty sure.
Yeah, the defense has looked really good. Oh, mama. That was almost close. We're going to go to golden goal, potentially. Chaussette almost skated around Casio. No seconds left on the clock. This one has to touch, but it's still alive. A little bit sloppy from both teams, but in the end, the defenses do work out. This one for series lead and series point, as AJ will play it off the kickoff from the ceiling, getting bullied, still staying with it. That's ridiculous.
You talk about the sloppiness, but so Chaussette went for a fake at the very end. Didn't work out. Goes to the outside. On that one, he's going up that side to get midfield boost, and they're like, all right, I can get this, but he gets beat to it. So instead, he just comes off the ceiling and chases him down. He's like, first can't hit a flip reset if I bump him off, right? Like, so
what is happening in this game? This has been a chaotic little game.
It has. And it is really unfortunate knowing this is an elimination match and we won't get to see either of these teams.
Yeah.
Or both of these teams, I should say, in the future. So
yeah.
Just enjoying it for what it is.
This is definitely, I think, one of the more consistent versions of Semper we've seen, at least with this roster. I know that it's a different amalgamation for sure, but it seems like they're playing with a lot of confidence, which might work. Casio trying to meet this one down for a double tap. Quickly denied. Now boost here. Exotic keeping it up. And how many challenges do we see in the air where as soon as someone gets possession, they're like getting bumped immediately? Like, this is nuts. There is no free touch.
You said no free touch. I'm like, there's a free shot. Uh-oh. And there's another one. After all of that, it only felt like a matter of time.
But it could eventually get in the OT. They did capitalize.
Well, here we go. It's going to be Exotic in first like we planned. And for FaZe, chance to close it out.
That's the sentiment of the century right there. Can they close it out for FaZe? We've asked that for a while. First killer going to get his opening goal. And good patience for him.
Yeah, smart decision making on this one. Obviously, Exotic had the initial flick. He was able to rotate through and get some boost, but again, when you're going for that challenge and you're rolling sideways into it, first killer is just facing towards your net. He's going to power through every time. So tough challenge for Exotic. Maybe wanted to flick or something that way, but again, first going to get bullied back on that one as Exotic brings it to the side wall. Plenty of boosts. We've seen him do quite a few things, whether he goes for a direct shot or tries to do this ground pinch, but jockeys for position instead, and that's a good jump as it does allow him to not only get a demo, but tie it back up.
I don't know why I was like really nervous that was either going to hit the post or that just wasn't going to go in, but there's gets the demo, quickly finishes the play. And I mean, oh, what a shocker. Like, taking first killer completely out of the game will give you an opportunity to put a shot towards the net. And it does so here. And that's essentially what it might take. Like, obviously, you're going to have to play patient against him, but you have to find a way to get him uncomfortable. That's really the key to victory for Exotic, as he will grab possession towards the midfield, carrying it on the hood. Can't find the flip. First killer wins a huge 50. Can he recover in time? Yes, and he will find himself the second.
And smart play from first, and it all starts actually when he's on his own half right before this. When he's on the back corner, he was actually going to rotate into his back right, but instead of doing that before, he ends up getting to the ball and just chipping it downfield. He doesn't want to give a free possession in the midfield where they can turn and counter. So it gives himself a bit of space, goes, picks up his corner boost, and then he picks his challenge. It's a good one, and the recovery's there. It's almost always there for a player like First, but difficult to go on the side wall here and is able to recover. This is probably going to be another one.
Oh, no.
Unless...
Oh, what was that? What was that touch?
Yeah, trying to get around it and put some power on it, but again, they do make mistakes. They are human. That was crazy to think about.
Prove it.
You can't see that shot or lack thereof just a little bit ago.
You can't. You can't prove it.
Okay, not human. I just saw the.
I saw a chain dash. That's pretty unhuman to me. No boost as well. First color's a demon.
All he's doing is holding a direction and jumping really fast. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
How to discredit how difficult it is to do wall dashes. He's just holding a direction and jumping really quick.
Yeah, he should have held the direction a little bit harder to get to the post. What's going on here?
Be nice. I know you used to watch him early in his career, but be nice, man. All right.
I only give him a hard time because he's my former champion. He's my former X Games gold medalist. Okay? He broke my heart. And Exotic's about to break another goal. Oh, my goodness. Tied up 2-2 with 3:16 to play. Can only expect how this one will go down, but I think we obviously have to give credit to Exotic, how he's been able to make some small adjustments and keep up with First Killer's long rotations, especially looking at those sidewall transitions where he grabs midfield boost like here, and then he comes back sharply on a play. Goodbye! That one's gone. It's a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by this one. It looks like he thought about going for the air dribble, but I actually like the play to just play it off the back wall because with Exotic being near post, it's going across bodies, so that save is actually pretty dangerous and tough to make if it's fast enough. And even if he does make a save, like it's going to expend a ton of boost. First Killer's going to be able to rotate through and get the top right. So again, trying to find a way to manipulate. Ends up working out as he's going to back off, flex left mid, and go back in. Flip reset, and it doesn't work out, and should be able to clear this the other way, take to the sky, and find yourself a goal.
Yep. That's the thing. That's what's so punishing is like once you kind of get that misflip, you're done. You're done. Like it's over. Not the game, just that rotation right there. It's tough. First Killer's going to punish you. He's going to find boost. So with that said, I think you're hoping and you're lucky for Exotic that you have plenty of time to work with here. Can you slow First Killer down? Pops it high. Still alive. Going to get the corner. Exotic very slow to the ball. Gets a fake. Beautiful one at that. And now he's got to score this, but nope. A little bit too late. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well,
really?
You know.
So that initial touch, you're like, okay, this could be dangerous, but I mean, First Killer just having an understanding. He just launches that into the corner. He's like, yeah, let's kick back mid. I'm just going to wait for it. And one times it in. And you talk about the punish. It's the little things. And what was a very close game, all of a sudden it is a 3-goal lead for First. But you can keep in mind for Exotic is just because it happened to him doesn't mean he can't do it back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it now, bro. Like now is the time. You're underwater. Please help us. Got 2 goals. Trying to find a third. Almost a ground pinch. First Killer playing underneath. Popped high from Exotic. Back down in front of the net. Great touch as well. That is great patience and control from Exotic to get First Killer to bite. And then right here, just little light touch, little something, little like just like dig a hole, be a carrot, a little something, just a little small.
Again, it's the setup.
Don't gloss over.
I mean, it's difficult for First Killer there, right? Like he plays the back wall, and First starts to go up, but it does limit his options by not staying grounded. But again, if it didn't land as like solid and kick out as hard as it did, it probably was the right decision. The other side of it too, then is just again that patience. You're talking about that soft chip. You know, First probably expecting someone to just blast a shot on target, and Exotic no one having the wherewithal to be like, no, I'm just gonna hold off on this one. So we're gonna try to get down on this one and go for the bounce. Not gonna land, and here we go again.
We've seen that all weekend.
And
goodbye.
there it is.
Yeah, he's an absolute worm. He doesn't see. There's no eyeballs. He just hears tremors. Feels them.
I just picture him as he like drives by, he's throwing like safety wood chips at people.
Yeah, he just feels like the little children running up on the wood chips. He just is ready.
Yo, anybody in chat good at Photoshop?
He
Hit us
malts.
with it.
He 100% malts, dude. I know in the wintertime, first killer just like goes into his room, just puts on ones and just malts. Okay, Exotic gets it to 6-4. We got still a minute to go. I mean, this was a kickoff win. I think this is the only reason this goal goes in is because you won the kickoff and was able to get back out for boost. But there's plenty of time. You know, I'm just thoroughly enjoying this one's match at this stage in the tournament.
Yeah, I knew Exotic would put up a good fight, and on the kickoff, I mean, it perfectly goes into the corner. He gets, you know, 2 small pads, and it's enough to carry him through. So again, it's not like it's completely one-sided. It's just the difference maker has been first in a couple of these punishes where he is playing patient. Speaking of patient, it's going to be another one from Exotic. Not sure if the wheels slow down the ball or not, but either way, that's a great way to bring it back within 1.
Where are you going? Ain't nothing up there. Bye-bye. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, you gotta be quicker than that. That's great. Oh my goodness. Get another one. Come on now, Exotic. If you're gonna do it, don't make us get here and then not do the thing. All right. You got to finish the job now. Kick off. First killer not playing it towards the midfield. 40 seconds to go. Down to the ground. Full boost. Flips it over. Exotic playing into the lower right, or I should say lower left. I know directions, and that's gonna be safe.
And it just, you see the initial thought process from first where he's like, I can go for a demo on this. Oh my gosh, that one actually almost goes in, but luckily Exotic does land on the boost, so first gonna have to back off. A little bit of space to work with in the final 50 seconds. That's a beautiful flick, and luckily for first, a second touch, but still, are we gonna take this one up high and off the ceiling? Plenty of options now as he falls down. It's just a quick shot, and first actually reads it perfectly, and here comes that punish yet again, unless Exotic can make something happen. Final seconds and tournament life on the line as he plays it a little bit too far, and first kill